I'm back for season 2 of Jess, and we're talking about more controversial issues such as the Burrell versus Hobby Lobby ruling that took place this summer. Also, because it's my birthday this month, I turned 27, I'm going to share some random facts with you about me. So don't go anywhere. I have a great show just for you. Welcome to the show. So this month we're talking about the Burrell versus Hobby Lobby decision that took place over the summer. There were two companies that are owned by religious people, and they did not agree with the Affordable Health Care's mandate that requires them to provide contraceptive coverage to their employees at no cost. So as a result of them bringing it to the Supreme Court decided to rule in their favor. So now people who own companies that are close-held for-profit companies who feel that a law goes against their religious beliefs are exempt from it. So ladies, what do you think about it? I have some people here that are gonna, join me in this conversation. So let's talk about this. What do y'all think?
I think to do something like that, I question how far into religion are we gonna go? How far are we going to take this? Is it going to be like, next you can't apply for this job if you're Jewish? Religion plays a big part in their decision, and I question how far it's going to trickle down. Like, how far are they going to divulge into your personal life? Is your personal religion going to take the place of the reason why they hire you now, or the reason why they do not hire you? I think that using religion as in my opinion, a crutch for why you do not want to provide contraceptives to someone is opening up a bigger wound.
Okay, so you think it's a big religious issue with this?
I think because so many people are so many different religions, for a company that has so many employees from so many different backgrounds, for them to say over their religious beliefs means that it's a representation of their entire company, all of their employees, everybody. And that
might not be true.
And that's not the case.
So I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think you wanted to say something?
I'd be in favor of the ruling. I just feel like religion does play a major role in people's lives, and I think that that's very important, that those rights are not infringed upon. The person still has the free will. We're not forcing anything on them. You still have the option to use the birth control, but if that's my belief and it's my company, I don't feel my rights should be infringed upon. You still have the liberty to use the contraceptives. You would just have to pay for them yourself.
Okay.
I guess I sort of sit in the middle, where I agree with Nia's opinion in that, the religious freedoms need to be respected. But I do think the ruling itself does bring into question Obamacare in and of itself.
Right.
And it sort of reflects back and says, do we have a right to mandate these type of things? And it's a privately held company, so it's not like it's a publicly owned institution. So do we really have the authority to walk in and tell someone that if you don't agree with contraceptives, if you think that's a way of stopping life, that you still have to pay for it?
Yeah, and see, me, I'm just torn because I'm all for a person standing up for what they believe in. Go ahead, fight for it, no problem with that. But at the same time, I wonder, are they forcing their religion on them? Because I'm a Christian, but I'm just not sure if legally I feel that it's okay now for them to say to their employees, now look, you can have health care, but you can't have this kind of health care, because I think that can go into other areas. Say one day they don't agree with your cancer treatment. And I mean, this might sound funny, but what if they say, well, God is real, he can heal you, period. Exactly. But everybody might not agree with that form. So,
but by the same token, could the owners of the company feel like Obamacare is forcing them to act in a way that is contrary to their beliefs?
It's a lot to talk about, but you know what? We're going to get into all of this. So we'll continue this conversation when we come back. But up next, I have some people from the streets of New Haven Green that share their opinion on this topic. Also, I have some random facts about me to share with you since it's my birthday. So don't go anywhere. It's a great show ahead. Hey guys! So I'm going to share some random facts about me because it's my birthday this month. I'm turning 27. And I know 27 is not one of those, you know, really big numbers that we care about. It's not like I'm 30 or 25. But it's still special.
I like the sand. I even love to rub my feet in it. I love the water. It's so nice and peaceful.
Not the grass. I don't like grass, dirt, or bugs. Not my thing. Okay, so I came across these two gentlemen, so we're going to talk about this Hobby Lobby situation. So what do you think about it?
I don't think that, well, health insurance is a human right. It should be. Access to health care is a human right. So I think that, you know, I'm not comfortable with the fact that the Supreme Court said that an agency or a business, a for-profit entity, can determine what level of health care an individual that works for them can access. Health insurance should be about access to care and taking care of yourself. So I don't agree that Hobby Lobby, they can select which medications somebody can have access to.
And we're back still talking about this decision. So ladies, the whole reason why this was even a huge issue with Hobby Lobby and Contesta, I can't quite say their name right, but the other company that went into the suit with them is because it is a mandate in the Affordable Health Care Act for employees to provide this coverage. So what I want to talk about now is this really an essential part of a woman's health care to have contraceptive coverage?
Absolutely. As a person who represents that woman, I can tell you right now that the reason why I was put on birth control by my doctor was not because, you know, I didn't want to have a baby. It had nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
It had everything to do with my hormones. It had everything to do with what was going on with me at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I literally was extremely stressed. I could not function. My body was all out of whack due to some personal things that I was going through at work that were interfering with my life.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the reason why I was put on a contraceptive. I was to regulate my hormones. It had nothing to do with, you know, anything else. And as many women are, I know older women who go through the same thing because they're in the middle of about to go to menopause and not really. It's not all about a baby.
Right.
It's about health.
Right.
And we have a special doctor for a reason. We're not going to the gynecologist just because we want to go.
Right.
We're going there because they specialize in us.
Right.
We're going there because that is the reason why we're going to be healthy. They're there to make sure that we're okay.
Right. And Daisha, you know, I agree with you because that's absolutely right. A lot of women are using it. And then not even just because of that reason, there's married women who got 3 kids already and they don't want any more. Or 1 kid, you know, whatever. They just choose that they want to, you know, try and have some order with when they have another child. So Stacy and Nia, what do you think?
So I think the fact that all contraceptives are not treated equally, that bothers me right off the back. You know, you can walk in any drugstore and pick up a pack of condoms, but, you know, why can't women go into a drugstore and pick up contraception? That's the first issue. And as Deja was saying, if it's needed for medical purposes, it should be treated as a medical drug. It shouldn't be lumped as a contraceptive. That's one of the issues that I have with it. Oh gosh, I don't necessarily agree that birth control itself should be mandated, should not be mandated. But what I have a problem with personally is things like the morning after pill, for instance, you know, and even how it's administered, you know. So.
Okay, but those type of things though are women's choice, right? Nobody holds a gun to your head and say go in the store and get it. No. So is this essential though for a woman's health care? You know, I think that having it available as an option is essential. I think that is good because it's up to a woman to make that choice. You know, although I'm a Christian and yes, I know we try and abstain from sex, but the fact is people don't. So having this option, I think, is good for them. Go ahead. What did you want to say?
I don't think that contraception itself should be done away with because I believe in free will. You should have that option to do whatever you want to do. If it's used for health purposes and not for contraception, I think that's a totally different thing. Maybe there's other alternatives or what have you. But I'm just coming from the standpoint of being the employer in my personal beliefs. I'm not saying do away with it, but you also have the choice of, you don't have to work for that company.
That is true.
You can work somewhere else. When you find out that there's any type of practice going on that you don't agree with, that goes against your integrity or your beliefs, you have a right to leave. You can work anywhere you want to work. I just don't feel like I should have to do, you know, something that I don't believe in. That's infringing upon my right. You have the right to work somewhere else where, you know, your integrity is not being compromised or your beliefs.
That's true, but from the employer standpoint, do you view it as this is essential for women's health care?
I do believe it's essential in some respects.
Okay.
I do. It's important.
Okay.
Definitely.
So maybe, you know, as your employer, you might purposely have some type of, I don't want to say rules, but maybe guidelines like, okay, if this is your situation, go ahead.
Definitely. I
Okay.
think
But
maybe it
doesn't
can
that
be
go
something
into, doesn't that go into you are now involved in my health care?
That
my
is
employer
true.
is now, and I have to divulge what I am going through in my personal life to my employer. That is where I get
Okay.
caught up with.
And you know what? It's good that you brought that up, because my next point that I wanted to ask you guys, is this technically religious freedom, or is this the employer imposing their religious views? Now, you know what? Hold that thought, because we actually have to go to another break. But that's what we're going to talk about when we come back. This is getting really intense. So don't go anywhere, because we're going to wrap this conversation up and talk about whether or not we're really imposing our beliefs as employers. Okay, we'll be right back. And enjoy these hit the street moments. They're good. So another random fact about me is that I love a good slice of pizza. So I'm here at my favorite pizza place, Angelo's Pizza Restaurant, and we're gonna try a slice of cheese pizza just the way I like it. So excited! I thought I was just gonna come in here and buy a pizza, but I actually get to make my own pizza. How cool is that?
Make your own pizza today?
Okay.
You're gonna flour it up.
Oh my gosh, it's so cold! Getting the dough full of flour. That's what they do. Pizza girl now.
You coat the flour so it doesn't stick?
Oh, just a little bit. You don't need a lot.
No. If you put a lot, it burns.
That's the secret to no burnt bottom pizza. A little bit of flour on the pan.
Flatten it. Just work the ends first. Flip it. Just work both sides.
Okay, mine's not looking like yours. Over my hand.
Rest it up.
That's the dough.
The other end of the work.
Nice. Got this. Okay. Really good. Like this. You're working this out. We're gonna use the good one, not mine. The good one. Is it okay that I have like spaces in between?
It's your first day. You're not fired yet.
I'm not fired yet, guys. So keep me. Cheese. That's my favorite part. Should have seen. Putting the pizza in. All right. Anywhere I want. JT, how long have you been making pizzas?
21 years.
What do you like so much about it? I know you and your brother opened up this spot right here, right?
Yeah. 21 years ago, December, then you deal with customers, interact. Cooking is fun, you know.
Yeah.
Creative, so you get all your creative part, you got your cooking part. You don't like to eat, right?
Exactly. Especially a good slice of pizza. How did you learn?
It's not a job, actually.
Really? Okay. So you had a job and you just said, you know, I can do this.
A friend of mine had a pizzeria. His pizza was good.
Oh, his pizza's so good. So you found out a way to make it better. It's your own little.
Well, the guy who was here before us, he was here for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So he made good pizza.
Okay.
So he kind of taught us. Well, we bought the place not knowing how to make pizza. So we learned. In a few months, yeah.
Well, I've come here for many years, and I love this place in comparison to any other pizza place. So I'm definitely a fan. So I can't wait to eat it. Thank you for showing me how to make some pizza.
That is Jessica's pizza. That's cheese, that's Parmesan cheese, and that's red pepper seeds.
Yes. He knows me. When I come to pick up my pizza, he has it ready on the counter for me. telling you, good customer service here. See, now I put a lot on here. I'll keep doing it till I see like some melting, and then like when I see little crumbles still on top, then I know I have enough. Take some fresh red pepper, but just enough. I don't like too much because I mean I like spiciness, but I just want enough to kind of make it look pretty. And then I know I have just enough. Let's walk over to the table and we're gonna enjoy this meal.
Do you think this affects our female rights, women rights?
Well, yes, I think it affects a lot of things. I think we've come very far in terms of healthcare reform, and to me, it kind of seems like that's taken a step back. You know, it's a slippery slope around religion and religious beliefs, but you know, I'm definitely in support of all the changes that have been made with the healthcare reform. So yeah, I'm not too happy about that ruling, but you know, that's just my personal opinion.
Right, and absolutely, everybody has a varied opinion with us. I mean, so many people are torn. Some people think it's great for, you know, religious beliefs everywhere. This is an advancement. Other people feel like exactly what you said. It's a step back, and it's a very slippery slope. Yeah. So, thank you so much.
Thank you. It was great.
Great talking to you too.
So we left off talking about whether or not this was imposing your religious beliefs on somebody, or if this was true religious freedom. Now, I do want to say that part of their decision, what affected it was and I'm going to look because I don't want to get it wrong, the Religious Freedom Restoration Act, which allows people to have the freedom to exercise their religion. So with saying that, what was it that you were saying before we cut to break before Daisha about religion and imposing beliefs on people?
To me, I just feel like there's so many different beliefs. People have so many beliefs, and especially in the United States of America, there's so many different people. We are a melting pot of people. You know, I just don't feel like work is the appropriate place to have religious conflict at. You know what I mean? You have Sundays, you have your Bible study or whatever it is that you want to do with your individual groups. That's where it needs to be left. When you go to work, there are a melting pot of people, as I feel like people shouldn't bring their religion to work. Other people, you know, prayer time and things of that nature. I don't feel like it's a place for you to bring your personal beliefs.
So you just feel at work it should be separate?
Absolutely.
Okay, Nia, what were you going to say?
I feel as though because religion is such a major issue and such an integral part of people's lives, it's who people are. Mm-hmm. How can you separate that? If I'm a Christian, I'm a Christian 24/7. When I go to work, I'm still a Christian. I don't put it on and off like clothing. I bring that with me. That's who I am. So I think it's kind of hard to separate that.
Especially if you're an employer, because of this, like businesses typically are like babies to people. So I guess they feel that it kind of connects.
Yes, it has their DNA. It has their genetic makeup. It's a part of who they are. It's birthed out of their beliefs. So I think that's pretty difficult to separate. In an ideal world, we could, but it's pretty tough.
I agree. I see where you're coming from. Stacey, what do you think about this? Is this true religious freedom, or is this imposing?
I think it does have to do with religious freedom, because you're essentially telling that owner that the resources, the blood, sweat, tears they did to put their company together, and the resources that they earn with that company, that they do have to take a portion of that and do something that may violate what they believe in, and that, you know.
Okay, it's a tough thing to decide on. So let's move on. My next thought is, how will this affect the healthcare system in the future for the U.S.? How will it affect it? I mean, because I know in some articles that I've read, people are talking about, what about people who don't agree with eating pork and allowing their employees to have medication derived from pigs? This may save their life, but no, sorry, we don't agree with using pork and eating pork. Things like that might come into effect.
That, to me, once again, this is where we're going into people's personal lives. And do you own me as my employer? I see employment as a partnership. I work for you, but I made an agreement to do my part to run your company and do my part to make sure I'm a good representation for your company when I'm at your company. When I go home, that's when I am home. We are a partnership, which means that you should look out for me the same way that I look out for you. So when I go home and I leave your employment, I shouldn't have to still be under your rules, because I did my part for the hours in which that you paid me for.
And that's true. And then that makes me think about, if it's a partnership, then there is respect in this partnership. And so will I make my employees feel that I don't respect them.
Exactly. Or you don't care about them.
Right. You never want your employees to feel that way. So, I mean, what do you guys think about the future of healthcare?
I'm scared.
You're scared?
Yeah. As a woman, like I said, who needs to have a yearly exam to check me out, I'm nervous. I'm nervous that they're going to get more deep into this, and it's going to go deeper than birth control and deeper than abortion, and someone's going to own my body. Someone's going to be able to tell me when and where and how I can use my body and what I can do with my body and how I can go about and I don't like that.
I think that there definitely needs to be some guidelines in place. There has to be a balance with everything. What those guidelines will be, I do not know. I'm very thankful I don't have to come up with the guidelines. But definitely have to be guidelines in place, because you don't want to be too invasive.
Right.
You know, you want to look at both sides of the coin. You don't want to be invasive to the employee, and as an employer, I don't want you infringing upon my rights either. So guidelines are important.
Okay. Well, ladies, I'm sorry. We have to close out this conversation. There's so much more that we can talk about when it comes to this. But I thank you all for taking the time to come on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thanks,
Thank you. So don't you go anywhere, because there are more random facts to learn about me. But I thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back.
The way I feel about it is like it's the first bad step in the wrong direction, sliding backwards. This is the first step where individuals can't use their religious biases against people, so they use a corporation to justify it. And then what comes next? They go after contraception first, and then they start going over different lifestyles or different types of people, and then it's the beginning of a long, slow slide backwards that we don't want to go that way.
Exactly. So it's the effects of this decision that concerns you.
The after effects, the ripples.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate you guys taking the time to share your opinion with us on the Jess Show. Hey guys. So, I have another random fact to share. This one is a little weird though. I have never missed a day of school from pre-K, which is pre-kindergarten, all the way till I graduated high school. I know, crazy, isn't it? You're probably wondering why, and how the heck did I do that? Well, I did get sick, and I got the chicken pox in the summertime, but if I had just had like a cold or the flu or whatever, my mom just kind of would make me go to school and then stay till it was about half day, so that we can get half day credit. So that's how that worked. And also, I was raised by a single black mother, and so they don't play, and I wasn't trying to get her upset. So that's another reason why I made sure I brought myself to school every day. So that's pretty much it. That's the next little random fact that you know about me. Alright guys, you see this pizza? It's so good. Now I know I'm still kind of on that diet I told you about last year. But look at this. It's not that thick. It's nice and thin. So I don't feel so gutsy. Try this. And cheesy. So good. Hot too. Delicious. I think they say you're not supposed to eat on TV. Oh well, we're breaking that rule today. So anyways guys, you guys saw the story right before this Jess moment. So you know, this man was working in a pizza place over 21 years ago. And ever since then, he loved it. And he decided to actually pursue his dream and open up his own place. And like he said, he's been doing this for 21 years and it is successful. So again, starting off a new season, and always want to remind you guys, pursue your dreams. It's important. Even for pizza. So the last random fact I want to share with you guys is the most important thing about my life, which is my personal relationship with God. I got saved at 14, which simply means that I gave my life to God and asked Him to come into my life as my Lord and Savior. So I do my best to live my life according to the Word of God. I'm not perfect, and also doesn't mean I have a boring life. You still get to have fun and do you, go hang out with your friends and do all types of stuff, just as long as it's not too crazy. So that's what I want you guys to know as well. And also, I want y'all to meet my bishop. I'm here with Bishop Derek L. Calhoun, who has been my pastor since I was 14 years old. I was just sharing with my viewers how God is really important to me, and I live a Christian life. So I wanted to find out from you, what do you think is the reason why young adults should have God in their life?
Oh, it's an honor to be on the Jess Show. That's a privilege. Y'all ought to make sure you tune in every time you get an opportunity. To answer your question, I think both of us have something in common, is that we both got saved at a very young age. And I know, like you, it helped me to have a guiding foundation when I went to college. And when young adults go to college, there are a lot of things going on. And you need to be able to discern what's important to you, what's priority for you, and what's not priority for you, what's helping you and what's not helping you. Having a relationship with God helped me to make that determination. It helps young people as a whole to make the determination of what's right, what's wrong, when to do, what not to do, who to do it with, and so on and so forth. So it's a guiding principle, a guiding force in your life, and it's, for me, imperative. And I think it was imperative for you as I watched you grow up and have a Christian foundation. I mean, we all stray. Let's keep it 100. We all stray. We all mess up. But the bottom line is, when you have God in your life, it gives you a framework of which to come back to and say, hey, this is the right way. I know the right way. And because I know the right way, when I'm on the wrong road, I know where the road is to get back right. So it's a guiding force and principle in your life. And I couldn't live without it.
And I completely agree. So to sum it up in a nutshell, it's been a guiding light in my life, as it should be in your life. So be encouraged, if you don't have a relationship with God, get to know Him. It's a good life to have. All right, thank you so much.
Well, that's it for the show. Thanks for watching, Jess. Make sure you stay connected because there's so much going on this season. So stay connected through social media and my brand new website, www.jessshow.com. I love you all and see you next month.